Okay, well, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
What might be helpful for you to keep track of some of this stuff? So it's not generally what happens for many of us is just all the things are spinning in our head because they aren't anchored literally on paper, can feel so much heavier. And then we spend a lot of mental energy try not to forget about it or intending to get to it. And sometimes just having it written down,
Right.
There can be this sort of decompression, a little bit of air can release a little bit of the pressure. It doesn't magically make it happen for most of us, but it can just turn down the intensity and the volume and free up the really limited amount of executive functioning energy that most of us don't actually realize we're expending,
Right.
Trying to hold it all. Okay, so have you had systems in the past where you've kept track of things that you wanted to do or intentions or tasks or whatever you want to call them?
So I've had like I think a lot of us, I've had many systems in place for all that sort of thing. I have a notebook that is, it's over by my nightstand. So I have a notebook that I tend to write things down in, but it's also where I write ideas down. It's where I write funny things that Sarah says or, whatever it might be. So it's not sort of a cohesive thing.
Okay.
Now,
but it is one location, which I want to celebrate because many people have like 5 or 6 of them, and that's a problem of a different sort. But anyway.
Yeah. I've done, in fact, so hanging next to me, I have 3 clipboards.
Okay.
I'm great at like setting up systems, not so great at following them. So one of them I had set up to track my working hours, but I'll do that in the work area. But I also have a to-do list and I have a today list. And the today list is just 3 things to do today. And I made this whole thing up. I'm grateful for, I'm inspired or motivated by, today I will blank despite blank because blank. I was doing this whole thing and I'm like, you know what? All I need is just an index card that I can write 3 things on and stick on a Post-it note or something. So I have a lot of different systems. Probably the thing that I use most often is it's one of those Moleskine little black notebooks. And it occurred to me while we were talking that I could use it the way that I usually use it for ideas and creativity and stuff like that, and then just use the back pages for my to-do list. So everything that I need to do, I write in the back of it, and then all of my ideas and whatnot I write in the front so that things don't get mixed up. Oh, we have a little visitor.
Hello.
Do you want to say hi, baby?
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Hello. I'm Renee.
Okay. Let's keep talking, all right? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. No worries.
So if I were to leverage something that I already have, I haven't been using it as much lately. I used to use it all the time. I have a stack of these notebooks.
Wow.
But the past few years, with everything that's been going on, I've really gotten away from using them. I've gotten away from having ideas. I used to do board game design as a hobby. I used to want to do a stand-up, so I used to write little comedy notes and bits and everything.
Wow.
I used to have all of this creative ambition. The problem was always wrangling it, and I tried to do so many different things. I never got anything done.
Okay.
Now I think if we want to take a silver lining approach, the fact that I can't do nearly as much as I previously could have, I think is going to force me to focus on what is manageable today. And there's sort of the life maintenance stuff, and then there's the work, work/creativity component And it's going to just force me to just think in smaller terms,
Mhm.
which if I get smaller stuff done, then that's better than having a dozen huge, big, great ideas.
I think it sounds like that's an important shift for multiple reasons, because one of the things that is so challenging for many of us emotionally and spiritually and all of the things is the disconnect between our expectations and our performance. And then, and many of us have very unrealistic expectations about what we can do, what we should be able to do, what we think other people are capable of doing based on some metric that we've decided out of nowhere, usually. So I think that sounds important. And given,
You can't be on this.
that's okay, take care. What do you need?
That's okay. No, she likes to balance on the arm of the chair, which pushes me all over the place, which normally is fine, but not right now.
Okay.
There, you can't do that right now, baby. Okay. As soon as I'm done, you can't. Okay.
So being able to find a good balance for yourself of, but it's also about prioritizing right now. It is always, but it's even more important, is what I'm hearing right now, is, narrowing the scope, but not in, I think the framing of it is important. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So being able to, the framing of it for yourself is really important and I didn't hear it in what you said, but I want to just put it out there as a caution, because it might be in the stuff you haven't said out loud, just in case, is, seeing it more as realistic, achievable, as opposed to grieving what you used to be able to do or what you wanted to be able to do or believed you were able to do and how you can't do that now. Right. So that shifting of, there's multiple processes here that you are legitimately and maybe experiencing grief around, which is all realistic and normal. That you've got the grief of what you used to be able to do and can't now, or and for again, lots of really important and real
Sure.
reasons, not because you're not trying hard enough, not because there's some other failures, more primarily because your capacity has changed and the level of other priorities that have become more important, or important's not the right word, but primary, up to the top,
Right.
kind of bubbling to the surface. Maybe more important, I don't know. But I love that, what you wrote down, what's manageable today, and what you think, and thinking in smaller terms, really in the sense of more reasonable, realistic, manageable.
Sure.
Because
Well,
as you imagine with the laundry, getting completions for some of our brains is like, it's candy, right? The
yeah.
dopamine hit and serotonin hit of a completion for many of us is magical. So giving ourselves the opportunity to have those more often and really see them as wins, right? Because when we have changed our metrics and we haven't adjusted our celebrations around them, we can continue to feel like we're not measuring up, or it's not enough, or qualifying it.